first off, I've got to ask, the bathroom dance, is that in the book, or is that something that you guys just came up with on the spot?
I actually genuinely can't remember if that's something that's in the book. So it's something that wasn't come up with in the spot. I think Owen Harris, the director, was like, I think this would be amusing. And I was dubious, to say the least. I'm not much I am a dancer. I love to dance. Once I've had a few drinks and I feel as though no one's watching me. So it's different to do it on set, sober. And do Russian dancing as well, which isn't easy necessarily, but it was fun.
You were pretty solid at it. I was impressed.
Thank you very much. I mean, you know, I might commit to becoming a Russian dancer.
Now I imagine when you score a role, you like go into a bathroom and you do that
I go
dance.
into a bathroom and I say, I'm the effing king, and then do a little Russian dance, pretty much. That is the celebration of choice.
So now, obviously, he is a pretty unlikable guy. Is there any specific element of him that you kind of latched onto and thought maybe like this was the key to at least getting people to root for him?
It really wasn't about making people root for him in many ways. He's a desperate character, and all the things that he hates in other people are also personality traits that he has in himself. So it's that weird thing where the language is kind of the thing to latch onto, because he's very observant, very acute with what he says about everyone and everything. And also, often when he's talking about other characters in the movie, he's kind of right at times. Not always, I don't condone everything he says, but at times he's right.
It's kind of fair.
Yeah.
It's a very dialogue-heavy movie, and I imagine you need to know the music industry to a point, and like just to really understand what you're saying and sell everything.
Yeah,
so
well, I
did you
didn't
have
know
to...
what A&R stood for before reading the book.
Really?
So, yeah, genuinely, artist and repertoire, I'd never heard of it. So it was kind of a big learning curve for me. But also, interestingly, the characters are quite open in the fact that they admit to not really knowing what they're doing.
It's kind of fair.
So,
Did you learn anything crazy about the industry that really surprised you?
I mean, you see quite a lot. I think it's probably a more realistic take of the music industry in the 90s at that time than the other film. I think, you know, sometimes music films can be a little bit fluffy.
Did John tell you any stories that really surprised you?
Yeah, he told me stories that surprised me. He told me stories from the book and the script which were actually things that happened, maybe not to him or to other people, but and loosely based on and stuff. So yeah, I mean that was surprising when you'd hear like, oh, that's okay. Or you'd meet people who characters were, because John did work in the industry, so there are characters that the characters are kind of loosely based on. And I met a couple of those guys, which was interesting.
I almost want to see like a series of these movies now set in different industries, because I read in the notes that he was inspired by, what was it called? Adventures in the Screen Trade. So I kind of want to see this version set in the film industry now.
Yeah, well, it is kind of that thing where, I mean, a lot of the time, the things that I was kind of bearing witness to in people's approaches to things, and you see similarities in the movie industry. Maybe not as extreme, but glimpses of it occasionally.
What is the craziest thing you've ever done to secure a role?
I've never done anything crazy to secure a role. I mean, just do the work. You know what I mean? I've never turned up at someone's house in the middle of the night and screamed and begged. I'm very good at taking no for an answer. But just being prepared and going in and doing it. I don't know.
Good. I was hoping you wouldn't say that you killed someone.
Yeah. Oh no, I have killed. Like, if you were wondering where your favourite actor's gone, or as you start to see like people around my age group disappearing, then it's probably me. But you know.
Now I've got the evidence. It's on tape. You're screwed now.
I'll get away with it. I'm not that worried.
Probably learned a lot from this film.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me a little bit about working with Owen? Because I also read that you guys didn't have much rehearsal time, and
No,
I
we really
imagine
didn't
with
have much rehearsal time.
so much dialogue, that would kind of freak me out a little.
Yeah, we chatted a little bit. There was kind of that thing where, I mean, the dialogue side of things, it was just important to really know the script, and Owen was very clear in the fact that his character has to be direct and very on point with his choice of words, and he knows when he starts a speech or something, he knows exactly where he's going. He knows the cherry on the top of that sentiment. So it was it was just a lot of learning lines before, which normally I'm quite freestyle in learning dialogue, but this time we put a lot of work just learning.
Was it an instance where you really had to stick to the script?
Yeah.
Had a feeling?
I mean, because it's all there in the script a lot of the time, and there's not so much room to improvise on the script.
All right, I've got a little game for you now.
Okay.
We're going to play a movie version of Would You Rather.
Okay.
So, would you rather work with a director who gives too many notes or not enough?
Too many.
Have you ever been in the opposite situation where you had to adjust?
Where I'm not getting enough notes?
Yeah.
I like notes, so I always generally tell directors to give me notes. Like at the beginning of the job, I'll be like, you direct me, because that's what I like. I like having other people's input. It's only my interpretation, and if someone gives me a little nugget of information that I find useful, even if it's just for a second or one take, then great.
Would you rather watch your least favorite performance over and over again or never get to see your best?
Watch my least favorite. I don't know, watch my least favorite over and over again or never see my best. I guess, I mean, how often do I have to watch it? That's a lot, right?
I mean, I imagine on these press tours, and especially festivals, like how many times are you going to have to sit through this movie?
What are you trying to say? Wow. I think I'd watch my least favourite over and over again. Just because, you know, glutton for punishment. Hopefully you can learn from it. And eventually you'll be able to have a laugh, won't you?
I would imagine. I would hope so.
Eventually you've got to see the funny side of it.
I'm trying to think if I could even have a laugh at any of your
But
stuff,
I mean,
though.
if you didn't see the best, and I'm not talking about seeing like I thought it was more about other people's performances. If you don't see that best performance that you've ever seen by someone else, then that's inspiring. So you want to see the good stuff.
Very true. Would you rather do motion capture or wear a ton of prosthetics? I'm very curious to hear your
I've
answer
done
to
a
this
lot
one.
less motion capture, and the process, it's weird. Yeah, oh, that's tricky. You know what? With Mad Max and X-Men, there is an enjoyment to the makeup. As painful as they are sometimes to be in, there's an enjoyment. So I'm going to say I'm going to stick with the prosthetics, yeah. Because the other one, you're in a vacuum world of nothing, doing the T-pose.
Have you ever done that before, motion capture?
Yeah.
What film did you do it on?
On Jack Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that now with the big gimbal where it fakes.
No, that wasn't so much the motion capture. We did bits. We did lots of technical weird stuff. Yeah.
That's like my one big takeaway from that film set was all the technical stuff that Brian told us
that's
about.
remarkable.
Would you rather play the hero or the villain?
Villain.
How come?
Normally the villain's more interesting.
I did have a fun time seeing you take this turn in this one.
Good.
Because I feel like you're so charming, and Natural is like the nice guy, and then between like just a bigger performance in Mad Max and something like this, I'd be curious to see more of it.
Oh, thank you.
Would you rather be able to watch dailies or have to wait until you see the final cut?
I never watch dailies.
Really? Is that a personal choice?
Yeah, I try never to watch anything. Just because otherwise it's going to influence what you're doing. Maybe in a positive way, but I think for me probably more in a negative way, where I would see something that I didn't like that I was doing that's maybe fine by everyone else's perception, but for me it was something that's, because I have a difficult time watching myself anyway, and then I'd try and do other stuff to combat that.
Have you ever been in a situation where a director wants you to watch them for any reason?
No. I mean, directors have sometimes shown me little bits and been like, oh, look at this is cool, and I've been like, okay, cool.
Would you rather play a character based on a pre-existing one or one created from scratch?
Yes, I pre-existing one. I mean, it depends, because with a pre-existing one, you're lucky where there's a lot of information, hopefully, about them. But then with that also comes everyone's opinions, which are probably that you're not right. So I'm going to go with playing a new character, because hopefully you'll be able to create something that's fresh and original.
I like that answer. Would you rather take a film on the festival circuit or be part of a big summer blockbuster press tour?
Festival circuit.
Yeah? How come?
I enjoy the festivals, and I enjoy seeing, unfortunately we don't get to see a whole lot of movies, but I enjoy the environment of it, of like, and the excitement around like new things, and then obviously often the press isn't as intense as on the other things.
That is true. I guess also between
it's
this
normally
and...
for smaller movies as well and stuff,
It must be nice to have two films here too. Maybe you could be here for a longer stretch and, I don't know, be in that environment a little more.
I feel very lucky, two movies, very different movies that I enjoyed making and I'm proud of. So, yeah.
Do you have any other films that like you have your eye on that you really want to see, if you can?
Yes, I want to see The Martian. I wanted to see that last night. Simon Kinberg's a friend and a great writer, so I didn't make it, unfortunately. But that's high on my list. The Lobster. There's a few things.
More screenings of both coming up.
Awesome.
All right, now of course I need to ask about some future projects, and I'm sure you can guess what the first one on my list is, X-Men.
Yeah.
I was curious, is there anything about making Apocalypse that was strikingly different from the other two films?
No, I mean, it's always that thing when you go back and you see everyone and you get along very well and it's fun. So no, I don't think there was anything strikingly different. But maybe I'm just not a very observant person.
Are you aware of like what's around you on set, just in terms of like technical elements, like where the camera is? Do you like to know that kind of stuff?
Again, that depends on doing those sorts of movies much more technical because a lot of things aren't there, so you have to look here, but that's an eye line, and then something's going to happen over there, but that's not actually happening, so do that, and then react to nothing. So those things you have to kind of be more aware. Obviously on smaller films, then you kind of want to forget about all that and just be focused on the real tangible stuff in front of you.
Absolutely. And I'm a big fan of Oscar Isaac, so I wanted to know what your experience was like working with him.
We didn't have a whole lot of scenes together, to be honest with you, but I mean, from what I've seen him do, obviously I'm a fan originally anyway, but then his performance was phenomenal as Apocalypse, and yeah, he's a good bad guy.
Anything about his way of working that surprised you?
No. Well, I didn't really see much of it, to be honest with you, so I couldn't comment on it.
And now...
He likes to eat a banana during every take.
That's my pull quote right there.
Seemed to work.
I'm going to run that headline. And now I wanted to ask about The Crow, because I'm a big fan of the original, and then I don't even know what the status of that project is anymore, but your name was in the mix for it, and I really kind of liked picturing that, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen at this point.
Probably not for me. I met on it, but yeah, I don't know what's happening, but I don't think at the moment, having done One Boys, Mad Max and Beast, I've done quite a lot of jobs in makeup, and I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing less of that, and The Crow wouldn't be that for me. So I think that, yeah.
That's reasonable. I'd like to see you in that role, but I can understand that.
Yeah, whoever takes the role, they're going to make a great movie. So.
I'm also really excited to see you play J.D. Salinger too.
Thank you.
I'm also really excited to see Danny Strong make his featured debut.
Yeah.
Has he spoken to you much about his vision for that film at all?
Yeah, we've met a few times, and it was a script that I read and loved and found just J.D. Salinger's life was just incredible. And obviously the work he produced was also remarkable, and to see how that relates to his life and everything, I just loved the script, and then met Danny a few times, and then did an audition, and he seemed to like what I did with the role, so I'm looking forward to playing it. It's a lot of work, and playing someone who's one of my favourite authors. I'm nervous in a good way. If
you're not nervous, it's like you don't care enough. So I feel like nerves are vital.
Nerves are always good.
Do you know when you have to jump into that?
Not until next year. But I'm kind of already, finding what I can about and then reading about it and on the path. It's difficult because it's such a reclusion. But yeah.
And just a little general festival talk. Is there anything that you can't do without when you're taking a film to a festival? Like a personal thing or just plan in mind, anything?
Not really, no. I'm very easy going. Just roll with it.
That's the way to travel.
Yeah.
I'm not, so coming away for a week is a challenge.
I'm not pretty easy going.
What about festival, no-nos or festival fouls? Have you ever seen anyone do anything that you're like, never do that at a film festival?
Have I ever seen no one doing that? No. Not that I remember right now. I mean, no. It's all, there's always that thing if I have a terrible memory, so that thing of meeting people that you've already met, and then you're like, oh no, we've actually met numerous times, or whatever it might be, and you're like, no, there's different surroundings, whatever it is, and that's my festival no, which I've got to get better at. But